Liquid has been playing incredibly well at IEM Cologne 2022 so far, dropping 00 Nation, Furia and even Cloud9. With the addition to YEKINDAR within their roster, we have started to see a new light for the North American team. Today we'll be taking a look at Overpass pistol strat that Liquid pulled off against 00 Nation at IEM Cologne. Let's first take a look at the map to understand what exactly happened. Now, as we can see at the start of the round, guys, 00 Nation actually go for a heavy A presence early on in the round. Because of this, they'll be more playing for a retake on the B side of the map. Liquid will send EliGE towards middle to apply some pressure on the enemy team early on. He was able to take out Damu, who is spotting towards ramp. Instantly after getting this kill, he will fall back towards the rest of his team towards B, ready for the execute. Liquid would then proceed to smoke heaven, molly towards barrels, and also smoke short after gaining the site control. Liquid will set up having two players towards Monster and Pillar, while the other two members who are still alive at this point will be playing towards Pit. Following this, Liquid would then take the duels on towards the players of 00 Nation who are retaking the site and close out for the round win. So let's start off with taking a look at Naf, who will be picking up armor and will immediately be heading towards B, making sure to be checking towards short just in case there is some CT aggression early on in the round that might be trying to gain some information. Naf will then follow YEKINDAR through Monster, shifting in this position, going to the right side of Pillar. He will briefly look towards short before clearing Pit and staying in this position for the post plant. Notice how he is actually really trying to hide in this position and force the CT side to sort of push out in towards this crossfire that Liquid have set up. You do not really want to be peeking loads in this position, as you may simply just get headshot and even potentially cost your team the round. So now moving on to EliGE, he will be purchasing armor and would also be dropped over a P250 from oSee. As we can see here, he'll be going by himself towards ramp early on in the round in order just to create some pressure towards the CT side in order to keep players in this area of the map. After taking out Damu, as we saw in the map overview with a nice headshot, he will instantly regroup with his team towards B. EliGE will be the third player out of Monster here, just being ready for these long range duels as he still has that P250. For the post plant, he will then just be staying around Pillar, trying to find where he can help his teammates out by checking towards Graffiti, and even swinging later on in the round to take out Taco, securing the round win for Liquid. Now looking at the newest addition to Liquid being YEKINDAR, who will be picking up armor and will instantly be jumping to the left side of Monster. He will be going out first here, however getting slightly blind by oSee with his flashbang, so this does actually slow him down quite a little bit. YEKINDAR will then just be holding the short smoke to make sure no CTs try anything crazy while Nitro is getting the bomb down. Because of the information that minimum 2 CTs are towards ABC and Heaven, he will then move closer in order to not get caught out in the open. He will then just be playing this very well, making sure to stay alive and run down the clock as long as possible, just playing around EliGE, who is also Pillar, that we saw previously. This does close out the round for Liquid, getting them the round win. Moving on to now arguably the best NA IGL in CS history, Nitro. He'll be picking up a smoke and a Molotov. Heading towards B early on in the round, just making sure to be holding for the monster push, just so YEKINDAR can stay on this left hand side very safe and sound. When his team are ready to go out, he'll get himself against the back wall here on the right side, aiming as shown and run jump throwing. After getting out Monster, Nitro will then smoke towards short before planting default. However, unfortunately, he does get taken out by the 2 nades thrown by 00 Nation towards this position. Now taking a look at the final player for Liquid being oSee, who will be picking up a smoke, flash and also dropping over that P250 to EliGE. When the round starts, he will straight away get himself in this position ready to smoke off Heaven for his team when they're ready to push. By getting in this position and aiming as shown, you want to jump throw when your crosshair hits the lower part of this metal beam going across. Following this, oSee will then throw a flash over B. However, I don't actually think you should use this lineup that oSee used because it didn't go deep enough and was actually the one that full flashed YEKINDAR. Instead, you want to be getting in this sort of general area and thinking where the end of the pillar is and just going to the left of it a little bit. A lot of people will run through this flashbang and that causes it to go a little bit too deep, and that will flash your teammates who peek towards Heaven. Instead, you want to be sort of step throwing it a little bit, that way it lands perfectly behind the pillar. However, this does take a fair amount of practice to actually make sure it lands perfectly, so I I suggest you just go in an empty server like myself right now and just throw it a little bit, get a feel for it, and understand exactly how you should be throwing it. Following this flashbang, however, oSee will then quickly check towards short pipe before heading out with the rest of his team towards site. As soon as he knows it's all clear and his team actually has the site, he will then be making sure to check the flank towards monster to make sure no CTs are in that position. oSee will then stay around pillar here, trying to take duels onto any CTs that may be retaking the site. This is a fairly easy pistol strat to pull off, guys. Just make sure to be aware of any CT aggression early on in the round towards short on monster, and also hold this for a few seconds. You should also send someone middle early on in the round just to apply some pressure on towards the CT side to make sure they don't exactly know what you're doing. Thank you so much for watching, guys. It's been Glaze, and I'll speak to you very, very soon.